We are here now with the one and only Darren Appleton, not only multi-world champion, soon going to be in the Hall of Fame, legend in the sport of pool, English 8-ball, the full Monty, but the founder of the World Pool Series. First of all, let me congratulate Darren on what you've done here. How has the reaction been now that we're 2 tournaments into this 4-event tour?
I think it's been amazing, really. I mean, when we look back 6 months ago, when I put just the idea of putting all this together, and then just escalated really quickly with the help of the Molinari guys, Rock, Ira and Eric Kwan and Manny. Just pitched the idea to them, and then everything just happened very quickly. And obviously we got the people like yourself and JP involved, so we had a good team. The first event was good, but I know we made a lot of mistakes, but everyone seemed happy with it. And then obviously this event, I mean, Unilad coming on board was like, it's really hard to really get your head around it, really. And obviously this event's been 10 times better, I think, than the first event. That's just me looking, trying to be observant and looking at everything. I think the big picture is that we're way in front schedule than what we should be. The plan the first year was to start something small and just build it up nicely, but to be getting like Unilad involved and having the arena we've got, obviously the Florian coming on board and just making a great show, yourself with the microphone and presenting, creating the stories. I mean, it's just it's like a dream come true.
Let's take a step back a second. You're in the middle of a very successful career. You still got many years to go here in your playing career. Yeah. Why get involved in something this ambitious? What was the thinking behind doing something like this?
Well, first off is obviously I've been playing a long time now. I've had a lot of success. I've been all over the world. And I'll probably say the last 2 years especially, I started to observe tournaments more, how they do it, how they run it. And obviously, if you take away the matchroom events, let's be honest, pools have been a joke, really. I mean, the way the people organise tournaments, the way they promote it, how they stiff the players, the conditions we're playing. I mean, there's some good tournaments, but the majority of the tournaments we've been playing in the last few years, I mean, it's just a joke. I mean, just the promoters just greedy, hungry, greedy, just taking the money. Yeah. Players getting a bad end of it, and that gives the players a bad attitude. So obviously, we have to bring the players back to like getting their etiquette right, promoting themselves, being more professional, and this has been a real test. I mean, these players, they're really scared. These pool players in the World Pool Series, they're scared. I mean, every day is like a full-time job, like trying to educate the players. And I'm one of them, but I've come out of that. The last 2 years I've been looking. So that's the main reason, is that I just got tired of playing terrible tournaments and been treated really bad. So I decided, and it's something I've always wanted to do anyway, so it's something I've always thought at the end of my career I would do. And because I've achieved what I've achieved in the game without blowing my trumpet, I don't really have any real big goals left on the playing side. But I know I can still compete. So my goal now is to do something for the game and make it, give it the credit it deserves, get it to where it should be. And I think, and now I've started it, I'm even more determined. So it's not like I've started it and I'm thinking, oh, this is a big job, and it is. It's a full-time job. It's definitely affected my game, but I'm a lot more relaxed when I'm playing because of that. So maybe it's like happy medium. But to me, if it come down to it, and I had to pick one or the other, I'd retire from playing.
Wow. But I think one thing I've noticed in covering pool over the last 15 years, we often talked about this, is that pool exists in a vacuum. There's no context to any of the tournaments. They're all one-offs. They're okay, great. The World 9-Ball Championship, we enjoy going to Qatar, but it doesn't relate to anything else. Yeah. There's nothing for the average fan or even the hardcore fan to really sink their teeth into and to follow. And just like a tour, like a golf tour, like a tennis tour, like any proper sport. So I imagine that this is where you're coming from here with the World Pool Series.
I mean, obviously, me and you are really good friends. I mean, we're both from the same town. But I mean, obviously, me and you have had a lot of discussions over the years, and I think we're both on the same page. So when I put it all together, me and Manny, I said, look, we need to get this guy called Ted Lerner, because you're not very well known in America, which I find amazing. I mean, how these people are not employing you to do all this stuff, all these big tournaments in America. I just don't get it. But anyway, me and you spoke about this stuff for years and years, and we said we should be doing this, they should be doing this, doing that, and then when it all come together, it just made sense. I thought, right, first thing we have to get Ted. We have to somehow get Ted involved, because I know, like, when it comes to telling the stories, the media stuff, the website. I mean, the website is great now, but in 6 months, this will be the best pool website in the world by an absolute mile, because we're going to promote the players, promote the sport, make the players famous, and that's all down to Ted's vision and my input, really, and that's why we're a good team, and because we're both passionate about the game, and we know what we need to do to get it to where it is. So people just got to be patient and support us. That's the key.
Right, and so another thing I think is a good idea that what you did is that you didn't shoot for the moon. I mean, what Kevin Trudeau tried to do, I mean, everybody thought it was so great, and of course, throwing millions of dollars. I mean, who's not going to be excited at that? But I remember at the time thinking, like, why doesn't he just do 24 tournaments with $100,000, or something a lot smaller, and I mean, did you, when you look back at, let's say, the IPT, do you think that's where that went wrong? It was too ambitious?
Yeah. I mean, this old World Pool Series, I'm modelling it off the IPT, really. I mean, what they had was unbelievable, but like you said, they just went too big too early, thinking that it's going to be like an overnight sensation. And I mean, the guy had so much money, it was unbelievable, and he paid out like over $10 million. I mean, I can't really fault him, really. I mean, what he did for pool was great, but he don't understand the game like myself and you. He know nothing about the game, but he was just friends with Mike Siegel. So obviously he sort of had a vision thinking, it's going to explode overnight. Where if he, like I said, if he just started it like even just $100,000 to the winner, like doing 10 tournaments a year, I mean, it would have been successful, because the concept was amazing. The players were very professional. He had them all dressed in like suits all the time. The format was great. Everything else, I mean, we were treated like kings, playing in Las Vegas. I mean, the best hotels. I mean, it was amazing. So when that finished, obviously it was devastating. I mean, that took me like 6 months to get over. But it was still like the highlight of my career, even though I didn't win one of the IPT events. The main reason why I started playing American pool was because of the IPT. If it wasn't for IPT, I'd be still stuck in England, like probably with brain damage playing English 8-ball. I mean, I'd probably be dead now, to be honest. But so obviously, I owe him a lot for my career. So, and then obviously the bonus ball, that was a good concept, but again, the guy threw all this money at it straight away, and then after 6 months broke. I mean, so our goal is to start it nice and small, with a nice little vision, build it up slowly, but obviously, because we're doing such a good job and people are seeing this, especially the sponsors, the support from the sponsors has been amazing, and without them we can't do it.
Yeah, talk about the sponsors, because you've managed to get some good sponsors early on. What is it that they were attracted to when you came to them with this idea to put a tour together?
Well, I think obviously I got some of my personal sponsors, and I'm really good friends with them anyway, and I'm so loyal to my sponsors. I think that's again, pool players really need to not think about the money short term, think about the long term. And I have an unbelievable relationship with Predator, my other sponsors are Checkio and now Razon. So I like to be involved with sponsors who I know are good people. They got good input. So when I was speaking to these sponsors, I was telling them the idea. They all loved it, because I said, this is what we can do for you. Not where, like, most of the time you're just asking for a sponsor, saying like, what can you do for me? But right. It's what we can do for them. So when I pitched the idea to them and the goal and the vision of the tour, they loved it. And these guys haven't been really prepared to spend this type of money since the IPT or like the Matchroom events. So like, for them to be involved and support me, and I think obviously they respect me and they like my vision, and I think that's why they're all getting on board. And they've been amazing. I mean, we're nearly 100,000 added for the year, year, in the first year, we've nothing to show for it. But obviously now, because we're getting big numbers on the stream, like I think we're up to 3 million for the week, which is incredible. I think it may be a record for pool. So that's going to give us something to try and get the sponsors from outside the industry, and that's the goal. And the sponsors we have, they want us to do that. So it's not like they're worried about it maybe overwhelm our side of it. They are like us. They want the sport to grow.
Right.
And that's our best chance. And if we get people like William Mill running a book and they sponsor us, and then we get a big industry sponsor, and if we've got the numbers, I don't really see why we can't do it, because we're putting a great show on.
How many events do you think you can get to, let's say, within 2 years, up by 2019? When do you think, how many events a year?
Well, obviously this year we've got 4, and then in November or December we'll be doing a qualifying school. So if you're not ranked in the top 64 at the end of this year, you automatically drop off the tour. So then to get back on the tour for the following year, you've got to play in the qualifying school. So they're like, we'll probably have like maybe four events like a qualifying school, and maybe four players are going to qualify from each event. So like maybe like $200-300 entry. So obviously that's going to create a lot of numbers. It's going to create a lot of money to put into the association, and then we can start employing more people, buying more stuff, because the production we're putting on is very expensive. But we're managing it well. And obviously, if you go through the qualifying school, that means you're good enough to play on the tour next year. I just don't want people to just pay their $500 and just come and play. I mean, that's not the way sport should be. If I want to play golf with Tiger Woods, I better start practicing very hard, and I've got to earn it.
Right.
Where like if you want to play pool with Jason, in my opinion, you should be good enough. I mean, earn the opportunity, not just pay your money to play him.
Yeah.
And that's the road we've got to go down. But we run all these qualifiers all over the world, so playing the qualifiers, if you're good enough, you can come and play, and that's the way sport should be. That's how they do it in golf, tennis, snooker, darts. That's the way it is, and that's the way pool should be, to get the prestige and the respect. Where at the moment nobody respects it, because it's a lazy sport. It's been a lazy sport for a long time.
Yeah. So do you think we can see 6 events maybe next year?
Yeah. So hopefully after this year, if we do well this year, then I think we could go to maybe at least 5 events next year. But not try and get too crazy and like say we're going to do a Kevin Trudon and say like next year we're going to do 8 tournaments, and then the third year he said we're going to do 12, and then you get overexcited because you're thinking, well, I could be on the beach in like 2 or 3 years, like get a beach house, people are out buying houses and brand new cars. I mean, I'm not promising any of that stuff, but if we build it up slowly and go to 5 tournaments and then 6 tournaments. And if there's call for other tournaments, then we can do it. But I don't want to promise all that. I just think just try and do maybe 1 or 2 more each year, and then that's where I'll really start. If I go to 6-8 tournaments and I'm involved like I am now, then that's when I probably call it a day regards playing the game, because I really do enjoy the side of it, the organising.
Right. I think this is. It's got a lot of possibilities for organic growth, and this whole thing with the internet is really exciting, isn't it? It's I think a lot of people in the broadcasting industry can see that something's about to happen with there's a lot going on with internet broadcasting, live streaming. Even Barry Hearn with his World Snooker, they're doing a lot of like free live streaming now, which was almost unheard of even a year ago. Getting to markets that they never got to before.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Right? I think this is where pool might find itself with a little niche here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. When you look at the internet now, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, when they brought the Facebook Live out last year, I'm thinking, what's this? I mean, Facebook Live, I mean, that's just, but when you look at it like a year later, it's probably the best thing that's ever happened for online streaming or pool. I mean, you go on Facebook now, you can watch major sports for free. I mean, it's incredible. And the good thing, it's bringing numbers, so they make money by advertisers and sponsors, and that's the way it should be. I mean, people don't even watch cable anymore. You don't really need a TV anymore now.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, the sport, this whole tour could actually grow into something substantial for pool players without network television.
Without a doubt. I mean, if you look at some of the pool events, what's been on TV, like network TV, their numbers are a lot less than ours. Ours is just an online stream. So that's the way the world is evolving, and that's great for us because that's where we're starting. We're not trying to get like ESPN and all them guys. I don't think we need them, but in the future that'd be great. You know what I mean? But this online streaming, I think it's taken over the world. I mean, everybody's got a computer and everyone's got a phone. I mean, we're all on our phone like 15 hours a day now. I mean, it's just incredible. Everywhere you go, like there's a phone. Right. I mean, it's just the way life is now, and you go with it. I mean, Facebook's incredible. I mean, it's just all these social network media pages. I mean, it's so powerful. Yeah. And obviously, it's free, so it's perfect for us. You know what I mean? If we were doing what we're doing, 10 years ago, it'd be so hard because there was no Facebook or anything like that. I mean, we have to try and get Sky Sports or ESPN. I mean, it's so hard to break into. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now we're getting it for free, and people. I mean, with the help of Unilad, I mean, it's just incredible.
And do you foresee that you will have most of the tournaments here at Steinway, or you think you can move into bigger venues, say casinos?
Yeah, that's the goal, is get some casinos. I wouldn't mind next year maybe having 2 here and 2 in the casinos, because what happens is that most of our production team is based in New York, and obviously they build a beautiful arena, and it costs a lot of money. So, obviously, for us to start going around the country, that's going to cost us a lot of money, because we've got to pay for all the staff to go there, we've got to pay for all the equipment, everything else. So obviously it's not easy, but if there's pool rooms out there what's really big and they're nice and they want to offer us a really good deal, then we're definitely open to go to different pool rooms. But we have to talk serious money. It isn't cheap, as you know, like you can see what we're doing here. I mean, it's amazing, but obviously we're hoping that we're going to get more industry sponsors and advertisers, and that's going to help us to be able to go to casinos and pitch it to the casino.
There is something to be said about being in New York City and trying to revive this great sport in a place like New York City. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better place.
To me, I don't like playing pool room tournaments anymore. I haven't liked it for like 3 or 4 years. I don't play any local tournaments like anywhere around on the East Coast. But when Manny puts on a tournament at Steinway Billy's, I always come to his tournaments because I love the pool room. I love there's something about it, the atmosphere, the people, the staff, the setup of the pool room, New York. I mean, it's just grabs you, this place. This place just grabs you. Even though it's like not the nicest looking pool room, there's just something about it. It's just set up great, and the people are awesome. And I think it's a perfect location. It's probably the most famous pool room in the country by far, and people like coming here. And I mean, I think in the short term it's definitely the place to be, and it just works.
Well, I can say, and I think anybody who knows Darren Appleton, you know, the work that he puts in on the that you put in on the table. I mean, you're as hardcore as they come, and that was one of the reasons why I was attracted to your game when I first saw you way back in 2007 when you were in the Philippines in Star Paper, you know, grinding it out like nobody's business, trying to get in, qualify for that World Championship, which you didn't, but you came back the next year and won the World 10 Ball. I think that if you I mean, you're obviously going to put the same passion into this project that you do to everything on the table. How can it not be a success?
Yeah, I mean, I found out more about myself in the last 6 months than I have in my whole life, really. Just how determined I am, how much of a perfectionist I am. I didn't realise how much I was a perfectionist. Like, I'm looking for faults all the time. I have a long list of things what we need to improve on, even though it's been great. But I'm looking and thinking all the time, and I think that's like my pool game. I mean, from 2007 to, let's say, 2013, I was hardcore. I was hours and hours and hours. I was a perfectionist, and I found it hard to accept losing. But that made me the player I am this way. My character, I'm very intense. Well, now I'm a lot laid back when I'm playing, and it's not so important because I'm sort of got to a stage where I'm sort of happy in my life. I don't need pool alone to survive. I've got a few businesses and like a really good business, and got a couple of properties, so I don't really have to rely on pool so much anymore. So it's good because when I'm playing pool, I'm not thinking about the prize money. Where before I was thinking about it, I'm thinking maybe if I win this match, I'm going to get this much. So being in the Philippines definitely helped me. I mean, playing all the money games, I mean, it was amazing, and that just made me more determined, and obviously just makes me more of a perfectionist because I see how they do it, and then obviously now I think when I'm running the tournament, I think I've got the same mentality, and my passion for the game And yeah, I mean, I know we're going to get a lot of criticism. We've had a lot of criticism, and there's a lot of haters. You know what I mean? But I sort of like that. I'm sort of happy about it because it makes me even more determined.
Right.
Where like a lot of people, they think, oh, I can't bother with this. Nobody's appreciates it, so they just pack in. I mean, that's not going to happen. That's the first thing. We're going nowhere. I mean, we're going to build the sport, and we're going to educate the players, and we're going to make it a big sport. And I know with people like you, we have an opportunity.
Well, I'll be here whenever you just send me an email or call me up. I'll be here.
Yeah, I mean, our team's great. We've got JP, yourself, Ira, Ron. I mean, everyone's just chipping in. And a lot of the guys are doing it for free. I mean, it's amazing. And I've no doubt that we're going to be very successful.
All right. Well, good luck with everything. Like I said, I'll be here whenever you call because I know you put the same passion into this that you put on the table. So how can it not be successful?
Yeah, I mean,
Darren, thanks, man.
You're the man. The voice.
No,
the voice.
This is the man.
The voice.
Multi-world champion and founder of the Whirlpool Series. Check out more whirlpoolseries.com. Darren Appleton.